Welcome everyone, I'm Rikard Weitmann, and today I will be sharing with you something that I've always really been interested in, but I never really had the time to look into it. But when personal project came along, I thought it would be amazing for me just to look into this topic and find all about it. So today I'll be discussing if gold can be used as a hedge to inflation and if it's possible to replace it and use it as an everyday currency. I will also go into detail about gold's origins. I will be comparing other currencies to gold too, and I will talk about inflation at the end. And at the end, I will give my personal opinion of what I think what would happen if gold was introduced as a currency again in the modern world. First, I will be talking about why gold is so valuable. Gold is a precious metal that has been prized by humans for thousands of years. Its value is derived from several factors, including its rarity, its aesthetic appeal, and its versatility. First and foremost, gold is so valuable because it's such a rare element. It is estimated that all the gold ever mined in the world would fit in a cube about 20 centimeters in length. This rarity makes gold such a valuable resource as there's only a limited supply available. Another reason why gold is so valuable is its aesthetic appeal. Gold is such a unique and beautiful color, which is unmatched by any other metal. Its shine and luster are captivating and is often used to make jewelry and other decorative objects. In addition to its aesthetic value, gold is so valuable because of its versatility. It is a highly malleable metal, which means it can be easily shaped and molded into a wide variety of forms. This makes it so ideal for various applications such as electronics, dentistry, and even space exploration. Another factor that contributes to gold's value is its chemical stability. Unlike other metals, gold doesn't rust or corrode, even when it's in contact with air and water. This makes it ideal to use in situations where other materials will quickly deteriorate. Finally, gold is valuable because of its historical and cultural significance. Throughout history, gold has been used as a symbol of wealth, power, and prestige. It has been used in the creation of coins, jewelry, and other objects of high value, and has often been associated with royalty and high status. In conclusion, gold is valuable for a number of reasons, including its rarity, its aesthetic appeal, and its versatility, its chemical stability, and its historical importance and cultural significance. These factors make it such a valuable resource, and that's why it's sought by so many people around the world. Now I'll be talking about currencies. Currencies play a central role in the modern world as a medium of exchange for goods and services. They are used to facilitate trade and commerce and are an important aspect of global and financial system. Currencies are usually backed by governments or central banks, and their values is determined by a variety of factors, including economic conditions, political stability, and the level of demand for the currency in foreign exchange markets. In addition, in facilitating trade and commerce, currencies also store a value in a unit of account. They can be used to measure the value of goods and services and can be saved or invested to preserve or grow your wealth. The use of currencies is not limited to physical cash or coins. Many transactions today are usually digitally conducted using electronic payments systems or digital currencies such as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. These digital currencies operate independently of central banks and governments, and their value is determined by supply of demand and online exchange. Overall, currencies play a vital role in the modern world serving as a foundation for trade, commerce, and the global financial system. Now, to add on to the currencies, I will talk a bit about inflation. Inflation is the rate in which general level of price of goods and services is rising, and subsequently purchasing power is falling. Central banks attempt to limit inflation and avoid deflation in order to keep the economy running smoothly. Inflation is typically measured by percentage change of Customer Price Index, which is CPI, over a period of time. A CPI of 100 means that a basket of goods for the cost of $100 in a base year would cost you an X amount of money in the current year, where X is the current CPI. For example, the base year is 2000 and the CPI in 2020 is 120. Then a basket of goods for $100 in 2000 would cost you $120 in 2020. This means that there is an inflation of 20% in a 20-year period, which is an average of 1% per year. Inflation rates can vary widely between countries and over time. Some countries have experienced extremely high levels of inflation in the past, while other countries have stayed relatively stable in signs of inflation. Central banks try to keep inflation within a certain range, typically between 2 and 3% per year, as higher levels of inflation can lead to economic instability, and lower levels of inflation can lead to, which can be harmful to the economy. However, in the past 5 years, inflation on the central currencies such as pound, dollar, or euro have had an inflation of 10%. It is important to note that inflation rates can be affected by a variety of factors, including economic growth, unemployment levels, and the level demand for goods and services. Central banks try to use a variety of tools, such as setting interest rates and adjusting money supply, to try to maintain low levels of inflation. Now I will be discussing the potential benefits of using gold as a currency. Firstly, gold is a tangible asset. Unlike paper money, which is backed by the government issuing it, gold is a physical asset that has inherent value. This can make it more of a reliable store of value compared to fiat currencies, which can be subject to inflation or other economic conditions. Gold is considered a tangible asset because of its physical substance that has inherent value. Tangible assets are physical objects that have value that can be bought or sold. One example of tangible assets, or a couple examples really, are real estate, artwork, and collectibles, and precious metals like gold and silver. Unlike intangible assets such as intellectual property, financial instruments, and NFTs, tangible assets can be touched and seen and held. They also have a longer lifespan and can be used or sold to generate income. Gold has been used as a store of value and a medium of exchange for centuries due to its perceived value and relative stability. It is widely recognized and accepted around the world and is often considered a safe haven during times of economic uncertainty or market volatility. However, it is worth noting that the value of gold, like any asset, can be fluctuated based on a variety of factors, including changes of demand, discovery of new gold, and economic conditions. Secondly, gold is widely accepted. Gold has been used as a form of currencies and is widely recognized and accepted around the world. This makes it easier to use gold as a medium of exchange for goods and services. Yes, gold is widely accepted and a form of currency and store value around the world. Gold has been used as a medium of exchange for centuries and is widely recognized as a valuable asset. Gold is also widely accepted in financial markets and is often used as a form of collateral for loans or other financial transactions. It is also used in the production of jewelry, electronics, and other products, and is often seen as a symbol of wealth and high status. However, it is worth noting, while gold is so widely accepted, it is not widely used as a medium of exchange as other forms of currency, such as paper money or electronic payment systems. This is because gold can be difficult to transport and store, and is not easily divisible or interchangeable as other forms of currency. Gold is relatively Thirdly, gold is relatively stable. The value of gold tends to be relatively stable over times compared to other currencies, and can be subject to fluctuations due to economic conditions. This can make it more stable and reliable as a store of value. Gold is generally considered to be a relatively stable asset, like I said, with its value tending to fluctuate less over time compared to other assets and currencies. This is because the supply of gold is so limited and the demand tends to be stable. Fourthly, gold is a hedge against inflation. Because the supply of gold is limited and the demand for it tends to be stable, the value of gold tends to rise as the general level of prices / inflation increases. This makes a good hedge against inflation. Gold is considered a hedge against inflation because of its value. Gold tends to rise at a general level of prices, inflation increases. This is because the supply of gold is limited and the demand of it tends to be stable, which helps support its value. Inflation occurs when a general level of prices for goods and services is rising and purchasing power is falling. When prices rise, the value of fiat currencies, such as the US dollar or the euro, tends to decline because they're not backed by a physical asset like gold. As a result, investors have to turn to assets such as gold, which can be perceived as a stable store of value and as a way of protecting your money against inflation. It is worth noting, while gold has traditionally been considered a hedge against inflation, its effectiveness as a hedge can vary over time. The value of gold, like any other asset, can be affected by a variety of factors, including changes of demand, the discovery of new gold deposits, and economic conditions. Additionally, the relationship between gold and inflation is not always straightforward, and there have always been periods in history where gold has declined and inflation has decreased. So like I said, gold can serve as an alternate currency, but it has some drawbacks as a medium of exchange. One issue is that gold is not as easily divisible as paper money or coins, making it less convenient for small transactions, such as when you go to the store to buy your food. Additionally, gold is relatively heavy and bulky, which can make it difficult to transport in large amounts of it. Hi, I will now tell you my point of view of what I think would happen if gold was introduced as a standard currency. We'll use the US for example in this one. Assuming gold is taken currency, the US dollar would lose all its dominance. First of all, the government would have to buy gold to support their currencies. It would render all currency equal. Hence, there would be no need for the US dollar. If gold became the standard currency, it would likely lead to a stable value of currency, as the supply of gold is limited and cannot be easily increased. However, it would make the economy also more susceptible to fluctuations in mining and supply of gold. Additionally, it would be less convenient for day-to-day transactions, as gold is less divisible and transportable than paper money and electronic currency. It would also increase the cost of goods and services, as businesses would need to factor the costs of storing and protecting all their gold. So, even though it's a cool idea, I don't think it would be very realistic. And yeah.